Hey kids, so today I'm going to show you how to make a simple budget. This video is brought to you by Visible by Verizon. Visible allows you to get on Verizon's reliable 5G network for only $30 for a single line. If you're still on your parents' plan, this is a great way to get you on your own plan without breaking the bank, and you're still on a reliable network that you can trust. So before we get started, I have a dad joke for you. So why couldn't the bad financial advisor move the debt? He couldn't budge it. Budge it. So anyway, let's get started. So this information is also in my book on page 132 and 133. I just kind of wanted to walk you through it. I think sometimes reading something compared to walking through it helps to make it a lot more make a lot more sense. And I love the quote from Dave Ramsey. He says, "A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went." Such a great quote because it's so true. I think if you've never been taught budgeting and then you're just kind of winging it, you're just, getting your paycheck and going ahead and spending it on different things. It's helpful to kind of just lay it out and take a look at where it's all going. So let's just kind of walk through this here real quick. So I'm going to start off with charity because I think it's important to give back. So let's just go ahead and put that at the top. We're working with a $4,000 monthly budget. Obviously, some will have more, some will have less, but we got to start somewhere. So you'll know your number, right? As you start putting these numbers down on paper. I think an Excel spreadsheet is a great way to do this because it just kind of maps out and you can add things in and take things away pretty easy. Put it up on the whiteboard just for this lesson, right? So let's just walk through them. So then you have savings. It's always good to put aside some money for savings, right? Pay yourself first is what I always like to say. Charity also is another thing that should kind of come off the top, just because that's being a good steward of what you have. You're being thankful for what you have and then you're giving back. And it's just a good thing to start when you're young so that as you get older, you always make room for that. Okay, and so this was in my book, so these numbers are a little bit, might be a little bit different. We've been through a little bit of inflation, but this is why it's important to see where you're spending money, that maybe you could move some money around to make up for the fact that we're dealing with kind of a difficult time right now. So rent, we put $1,200, food, $600. Obviously, if you're a single person, you could probably get away with less than $600 a month for food. Clothing, $200. The nice thing about a budget too is you put that in there, $200, and so 1 month you might not buy any clothing. So the next month, you still have $200 there, and now you have $400 that goes towards clothing. Or you can move that money around and pay something else. But we got to start somewhere. You got to get something written down so that you can have some goals, okay? So allowances, $200, okay? Again, you could, if you didn't spend that, that's great. You could save it for something else and move it to the next, or kind of keep it in your own little stash for yourself, or add it back to your savings if you don't spend that whole allowance. But allowance, the nice thing about having an allowance built in is you don't feel guilty about, I spent that money that I shouldn't have. It's kind of built in, it's kind of fun money, so so that this isn't so strict that you don't feel like you can have any fun, okay? So make sure you build that in. Okay, so utilities, I kind of grouped them together. And so that's why it says utilities $400, and then it's kind of broken out in blue. That's why I did that. And then these numbers actually add up to $400. So obviously it's going to vary and depends on the time of year too. If you have natural gas and you're heating your house with gas, winter is going to be more, summer is going to be less, but you factor in 100, which is basically an average, and then you still have that money available for when you need it in the winter. Okay, so you kind of come up with an average there. And then I mentioned in a previous video where I talked about certain things it's good to take a look at to see if you can save some money. And you can see, so we have internet at $50, phone, I had $100. This was in May of 2021 when my book came out. I had $100 budgeted. So here we go with Visible again. Like I had mentioned before in a previous video, you can look at certain things like that, and the competition has really gotten better in certain things, so you can bring the price down. So it's always good to look at those certain costs that you have each month to make sure you're getting the best deal. And so with Visible, right, you get $30 for the basic plan and $45, which includes international calling. You can sign up for Visible by downloading the app and follow the instructions to get started. I'll have a link to the app in the description of this video. I personally think, and I've said this in a previous video, that Verizon's network is the most reliable because I've experienced that, and it actually happened again when I was in Colorado, where people weren't able to make phone calls that were on other networks. So I'm happy to recommend them, and hope you check out how you can get on the Verizon network through Visible. Okay. But please remember, it's always important to do your own research to make sure that you're getting the best value for your money. But again, make sure that you're double checking that type of stuff, that because those prices go up and down with internet and also with TV and with phone. Those three are pretty standard, and you can look at the best deal and negotiate what have you. So anyway, just want to make sure that you understand that. So and honestly, that would be something that you should do on a regular basis for yourself. If you're shopping for a car, shopping for anything, you want to make sure that it's the best deal for you. Okay, so let's just kind of finish this out. So we have entertainment, again, kind of fun money. We got that built into our budget. $100. Cars, $500. That might be kind of steep. If you buy a car, used car, save some money, but if you're saving for another car, then that could be part of that too. So maybe you have your car paid for, you don't really need $500, but it's a car budget. So if you need to do repairs, or if you're saving for another car because you know that your car is going to need to be replaced soon. And then insurance, that could be life insurance, could be car insurance. Your home insurance, if you buy a home, usually that's rolled into the actual payment. That's how we do it. You can separate it and then pay it every 6 months, but we always just have it rolled in so that that isn't ever an issue that we have to think about. Okay. And then gifts, $100, because you want to be able to, where does that money come from? If somebody's birthday comes up or what have you, and you want to give a gift, you got to have a budget for it. So, and yours are going to vary, that your categories and your numbers are obviously going to vary, but we got to start somewhere. Did I say that enough times? You got to start somewhere so that you have some sort of plan to get you heading in a good direction. Because without a plan, you're not going to get anywhere. Without a road map, if you're trying to drive somewhere, if you don't have a map or something to kind of guide you, how do you get there, right? So the purpose of a budget is to help you understand where your money is going. So don't get too stressed about this, please. I can't emphasize that enough. It seems like a lot of work. I get it, but it's, you have to better understand your spending so that you can get a handle on it and figure out where you can kind of move things around. If you don't currently have a budget, because maybe you were never taught about it, I would highly recommend that you start one today. It's the first step to getting you on the right track financially. So again, since this video is sponsored by Visible, go to the link in the description of this video to learn more about Visible, and also for the link to download the app, right? Make sure you do that. Thank you, Visible, for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you, and thank you all for watching this video. I hope this was helpful for you, and God bless you.